Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grananti Bhurida Janaha Bhuvi Grananti Bhurida Janaha. Third discipline we saw loving God in others. How God manifests in and through innumerable jivas and as innumerable jivas through innumerable bodies, and how to recognize that God, how to love that God in and through that bodily existence. The third discipline we saw. Now, the next thing we have to practice in our spiritual life to walk on the path to divine as a devotee, bhakta, to reach the Bhagavan. The fourth one is the service that you render. An important discipline from ancient times. Sri Ramakrishna again makes that system survive, rejuvenate it by giving strong impetus. Swamiji, when hears, comes out joyfully after hearing that Shivajnane Jiva Seva and proclaiming, having great joy, if I get an opportunity in my life, I shall teach this grand principle to the world. Thakur says, no compassion. Who are you to say, give compassion or express compassion? Show compassion to jivas. You can only serve. And serve not the man, but God in the man. Seeing God in him. So, seeing God, loving God in others is one part. Other is serving. Loving is different from serving. Service to be rendered. In love, we try to become one with the ideal. I identify, we saw in the last class, how we love, how we identify, we feel ourselves pervading all jivas, even in plants and other sthavara and jangama. And now, loving is, I try to become one. All beings I expand and live in, experiencing their joys and sorrows, to be one with them. Love makes union. Service keeps the difference. In service, loving service, but love and services are different. He maintains the attitude of a servant and the master. There, in love, we become equals. The God in the topmost position of the Supreme Being is brought down to the human level of loving as my son, my child, my mother, my father. Intimate relationship we develop and try to become one with it. The worshipper and the worshipped become one ultimately in and through the worship. Here, In service, we keep the distance. You are the master, I am your eternal servant. So, one of the Vaishnava disciplines is service to Vaishnavas. Here we are replacing Vaishnavas by all Jivas. Wherever you find need is there, suffering is there, my necessity is there, we will serve and supply. So in this, the difference that is maintained is bridged. I keep the difference, but there must be some bridge between me and the master. Why should I serve? A bridge between myself and master is my spiritual existence. I want to lift my spiritual existence. I am spiritual. I am seeing the Lord in others and serving. In serving, I am discarding my human existence, animal existence. I am taking only my divine existence. In each there is Sharira. Sharira is there. Indriyas are there, Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, and all this is physical body is there. Then yogic body is there. Then karmic body is there. The three are overlapping each other. When the physical body is the karmadhina, this body has come into existence because of my karma. The karmic Lord has created. Some force must be there. In this, it cannot exist by itself in nature. Nature has to be present in the jiva. And nature also cannot exist without the divine. So divine must be there, nature must be there in me, Jiva Tattva, Prakriti Tattva and Shiva Tattva. All the three must be there. It's a combination. Otherwise existence is not possible. Jiva cannot exist by himself, independent of nature, and it has come into the nature, acquired the body of the nature. And there is Prakriti Tattva and there is Shiva Tattva. The divine, the nature, Prakriti and the Jiva. Three aspects are there. And we have the karmic Karma Sharira, Yoga Sharira, which unites me with God. Yoga Sharira is be in dormant state. It will not be. The Karma Sharira is the what we get. Any animal body we could have got. This time we have got human body. We have done certain merits, and our merits and demerits, Papa Punya are equal. We get human birth. So in Sharira, the Bhoga Sharira, Yoga Sharira, when they cannot go together, they cannot exist together, Bhoga Sharira and Yoga Sharira. This is Bhoga Sharira, it goes on experience Sukha Dukkha. Sukha also is there, Dukkha also is there. It has to experience Sukha Dukkha. Yoga Sharira is there, Karma is there. Through Karma, I can balance this. Because of the Karma and Bhoga Sharira, the Yoga Sharira will be in dormant state, it will not awaken. So in service, when we do the seva, the Bhoga Sharira starts becoming weak and fades away. It gets faded away. The more it gets faded away, the Yoga Sharira starts manifesting. Complete destruction of Bhoga Sharira is Vasanakshaya. Vasanakshaya, Tattvajnana and Manonasha take place at a time. So, Bhoga Sharira is associated with the Vasanas. Yoga Sharira is associated with our Punya Karma and also our Sadhana Bala. It will be there in dormant state to the extent you do sadhana, lives after life, some sadhana will be doing without our knowledge sometimes, with knowledge sometimes. And that it will be partially like I am as if I am in dream state. It will be there existing, it will be hanging between the waking and sleeping state like. It is not awakened. It is awakened means there won't be Bhoga Sharira at all. When Bhoga Sharira puts off, the Yoga Sharira awakens, unites the Jiva with God. In service, this Bhoga Sharira, Vasana Kshaya is taking place without our knowledge. Bhoga Sharira is dissolving. That's why the lot of importance is given from ancient times for the service. Even from the income, whatever income you get, flowing, this, that, whatever comes as to you, you have to share. One portion will go to the king as taxes for the welfare of the whole. The king is protecting us from enemies, from so many things. In times of famine, he takes out his treasury, he takes out his granary and starts distributing. All this, he keeps the reserve. So for our own protection, collectively, and for welfare of this one. And then, whatever you can give to the Bhuta Yajna, a portion will go for the animals and insects, whatever you grow. You can see the farmers leaving some portion. They will take their share. In spite of that, they will leave a little and come away. Two farmers had met each other in my presence here. One was telling, now I have put electric fencing. 12 feet height electric fencing he has put, so that even birds cannot enter, it seems. And it's a mesh he has put. Mesh. Nothing can know that peacock is most harming the crops. So whole this one he has fenced with 12 feet height, that birds also cannot come inside. That now I am totally safe. I can produce anything and in a nice way I can preserve. And that another person was listening. He did not talk anything. He said, see, I cannot afford for all those things, and even if sometimes I can afford little by little, I don't want to do. If gross animals left by others do not come, it is sufficient for me. I will go and request them, don't leave the cows, my food will go away. There more I cannot do. He told, you belong to the 17th century, it doesn't matter. And he went away. After he went away, this farmer started telling, see, man's selfishness has no end. We have to protect, we have to preserve, we have to do the fencing. But to deprive even a bird and an insect not to come inside, it is, as a farmer, some amount, at least if you fence also, some amount you have to give to the other beings. They don't plow, they don't do anything. They have to survive on what you people do, or leave it to the nature, they will have plenty. You occupy their place and deprive them all, and see that finally no other animals or insects will survive. I alone will be on the earth. If an ant comes, bring heat. If flies come, put fire. If an animal is killed by tiger, go and pour poison on it, so that next day tiger will be end. Killing one tiger, they get about 2-3 lakhs for skin and this and that. So where is human, this one? We are supposed to protect them. If all, the entire human existence get extinguished on this earth, all other lives will survive. If all other lives goes away, man cannot survive. He cannot survive. If all insects, animals and all go away, we cannot survive on this earth. So it is how much valuable they are. They are participating directly or indirectly, and nature is balancing. If you don't do, you will have the same fate what Ukraine is having now. So the nature compensates in some other way. One brain, she just triggers, it is sufficient. One Hitler will come out. There will be mass destruction. All you destroyed, now you also get destroyed. Nature revolts. In what way nature is going to balance, we don't know. So our primary duty as a human being, that is mandatory for all humans, is to see that you love nature, protect nature. Nature includes all other beings, including humans. So this protection becomes your part. It is an essential part. If you are not doing your own duty, how can you ask God to reveal Himself? He is there in all others. You love is one, other is. To bring it to the bodily level, physical level. Loving is, love God in others is at an emotional level. Emotional level also will take up transmutation of emotions into devotion. Tomorrow or any other. Here it is different. We have to bring it to the bodily level. What you love is your heart. Heart alone is participating, body is not participating. Body parts participates in service, physical service, seva. At least if you cannot do anything, spend money, because you have worked there and earned this. This work is being offered. When you offer money, it is not money what you are offering. Your efforts to earn that, there you cannot go and serve somebody. Here you are doing in your home or in your office, give small amount to those who are needy. So what happens is your bodily efforts is necessary for purification of the body. Vasanas are clinging to mind and body, through and body. Sharira is vasanamaya. So when it is to be purified, it has to be put into the service, seeing the Lord in. Otherwise it will become new karma, that's all. Even while serving others, you must be careful that you are able to see the divine and serve. If you fail to see the divine, not only what you are doing becomes karma, what karma he does after getting your services we will be having a major share. Suppose a person is not having money, you give him money, a beggar comes and asks, give me something. You see him, looks like he has not taken for food for 3 days, and you give him 5 rupees. While going, he starts fighting with someone, and next day he buys one knife for 5 rupees and comes, kills that person, and you will be major sharer of that sin, because your money has used. If you had not given money, you would not have purchased the knife. So in that every person there are two. One is the man who does good and bad, other is God who is silently blesses you with spiritual realization. So when you give anything, whether it is food, nobody will take your services and go and sit doing japa. Give him food, give him money, give him education. Whatever you give, he will run into the enjoyments. He will neither serve the society nor sit and do japa. Oh, somebody has given me food, somebody has given me job, somebody has given me education. Let me serve in return to the society, or let me call on God. Nobody does. They run after enjoyments, and you are responsible for that. So if you don't see God in them and serve, then you are inviting more trouble, more bondage, more suffering. And if you see God and serve, you will be fast moving, because this Vasanamaya Sharira is going to become Daivamaya Sharira. It is going to become, Bhoga Sharira is going to turn into Yoga Sharira. So these two, Bhoga Sharira and Yoga Sharira, they are coexisting with the Karma Sharira only because Karma Sharira is in between. Karma is common for both. Otherwise they cannot stay. It is just like oil and water. They cannot mix up. Oil and water, if you cannot mix it up, it will be just like coconut oil coffee. You cannot mix it up. So what happens is, suppose you put little soap water, oil and water gets mixed up. Just a little soap. Oil is there in your hand. Put soap and water, it gets dissolved in water. In presence of soap, oil and water both become one. And one more place where they become one. In the Earth's orbit, gravity is zero. Where gravity is zero, there is no difference because of the heaviness of oil, lightness of water. They stay in different levels. There it gets mixed up in the orbit of the Earth. Where moon revolves, where the satellites are hanging, there they become one, water and. So in presence of God, they become one. That is all. And only God remains. Here also, when soap is there, they coexist. So Karma Sharira has an important Sharira. Now it has to doing service. Whatever you do karma, other karmas, you are doing for yourself. Now, unselfishly, without any expectation in return, seeing God in them, when you serve, the vasanas fast reduce. They get burnt up. Dagda bija, slowly it is getting roasted, that it cannot get germinated again. And then you see that your Yoga Sharira shines forth to be one with Divine. So this is an important discipline in Bhakti Yoga to serve at least, if not all beings. You may not be able to feed cockroach and bugs, but you can serve man. When you see the suffering as your own, you can see an ant getting rid of leg, a damaged leg, laming and going, you cannot understand how much painful it may be. Same pain what we experience in our body, it also experiences. A mosquito, very difficult. If it comes near itself, we will get affected. We are ready to kill it. And once it bites, you will chase and see that it is killed. You will not spare it. But there are people who, searching for food, it has come so far, have a little blood and go. Very rare. But there are some people, they will go on driving. They don't kill. They go away. Hey, go re. Remember? Mataji's in your two Matajis were there on the bank of Narmada. One of them used to go in 4 to have bath. So that Mataji never used to kill. She will tell, go away. So it is there. They feel, suppose somebody hits me, how much pain it may be. They understand, feel. So we don't understand, we don't feel, because expression of consciousness is less. In man, maximum expression of consciousness. If you kill a mosquito, you will not feel much. If you kill a rat, you will feel a little. If you have to kill a cat, if you have to kill a dog, as the more the consciousness expression, you will feel less inclined to kill. And man, nice. Hum bhi military, tum bhi military. So this tendency to serve the divine, seeing divine, you will serve the mankind at least. If not all beings, wherever you can see suffering, wherever you can see the need to serve. By that, what is going to happen? You are going to become divine. You are become closer. Every service you render, God receives it. Nature feels so happy. Mother Nature, oh, this is my duty, my child is doing. Serving, who is in. How to live in a community, how to bear suffering, how to welcome suffering. I went to Mataji was telling, for the 10 boys, for white cloth issuing a few days back. Mataji was telling, when suffering comes, can you accept the suffering as grace of God? To receive the suffering as blessing of God, love of God, very difficult. First thing we revolt is with God. Why did God do this? One person came to me. He used to go to temple every day and do service there. He had diabetes. He had gangrene in the foot. Then it developed and up to knee it was to be amputated. Other leg also after some time was amputated. He came without both legs. Then he was telling, I served for 40 years in the temple every day, but this is what God has given me in return for my services. How we link, that is, account is different. If you are done without any expectations, you would never have told what God has given. It is what I have given. Look at here. In spite of this, I served Lord. Now also I am ready to serve Lord. That should have been his voice. When calamities come, we fail to recognize how we revolt, how we come back. God doesn't lose anything. Nature will take care and see that in some other way he reaches his goal, time or other. But this should not happen. Slowly we have to develop that attitude. All these attitudes. First is living presence of God. Second is doing japa. Seeing. Third is loving God in others. Fourth, this one is serving the needy. Service without any expectation, without any intention behind. There is suffering. Paramesha Medyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.